Got a 350Z with a single exit exhaust.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Ed, and in this video I installed this Lamtto C450 3-channel dash camera inside of my 600 horsepower 1992 Lexus SC300. When I'm done, I will have a front camera, a rear camera, and an inside camera. So let's get started.
So after you open up your box, this is basically what you're gonna get. First thing you'll notice is the actual camera itself. Now this is the front-facing camera, and on the other side of this is the inside camera. What I like in particular about this setup here, unlike similar companies that have a similar setup, is you can adjust these two separately. So this one adjusts, and then this one, I don't know if you can see that, this whole section can adjust. So unlike other cameras out there, this makes it really easy to adjust the front and inside camera. Over here, you have the rear-facing camera. So this is gonna have a long cable that you have to run from the back to the front and connect it to this guy. They do include tools here to make that a little bit easier. You have this clip here that sticks using a 3M adhesive. And then they also include an actual suction cup. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of the suction cup, so I'm probably gonna try to make this work first. I wonder why they include both. Some companies give you either or. Over here, if you don't want to hardwire your camera, no problem. You can just use your cigarette lighter as an option. Keep in mind, if you do it that way, your parking mode is not going to work. You're not going to have that endless recording or that loop recording feature that they advertise. So if you park your car and somebody hits it and you have it set up this way, don't count on this camera capturing that. Now, speaking of hardwiring, this is an Azdome Hardwire kit, and basically this is going to allow me to install it and take advantage of all the features that this thing comes with.
Since we will be hardwiring this camera, the first thing we will need to do is locate a constant and ACC fuse slots. ACC fuses have power only when the ignition is on, but constant fuses always have power. In this 1992 Lexus SC300, your fuse panel is located on the driver's side next to the clutch pedal. Ground your circuit tester, and with the ignition off, find a constant fuse slot. If the fuse is receiving power, the tester will light up, like this. Now with the ignition still off, locate a fuse slot that did not receive power. Turn the ignition on, and the circuit tester should light up now. Now that we have identified which fuse slots we will be using, grab the hardwire kit and your fuse taps. The red wire, or battery wire, is going to go to your constant fuse slot. The yellow wire, or ACC wire, is going to go to your ACC fuse slot. Lastly, the black wire, well, this is just ground. After you connect all your wires together, now's the best time to test your work. If everything looks good, you're ready to install your cameras.
And we're just gonna wait for it, and I see there's a light, and there you go. We got power. This is awesome. All right, please format SD card on this device. We'll go ahead and we'll take care of that off camera. Now, let's go ahead and continue on with the rest of the install.
Now, before you go installing these dash cameras, make sure you wipe down the front and rear windshields. It's going to help make the adhesive stick a little bit better. Mount your front-facing camera first in the center of your windshield under your rearview mirror. Next, connect your hardwire kit to this camera. After you do this, begin tucking your wires inside of the headliner, making your way down the pillar. This may take you a little bit of time, but it is manageable, so just take your time here and make sure that none of the wires stick out through the headliner. Make your way to the back of the car and repeat the same process to the rear camera.
So after you spend a couple of minutes tucking your wires, this is basically what it all looks like. Boom, look at that. Now I am missing my rear view mirror. I mean, I have it, so I just need to install it in. This is a brand new windshield, so that's gonna kind of help keep some of these cables a little bit hidden. But for now, you can see up in here, even though these cables are a little bit on the fat side, thick side, I should say, everything was still able to be tucked, so that's good. Over in the rear, basically I just tucked everything up through here, all the way across, and you can kind of see, actually you can't, but I went down here, then I went down in there. You can kind of see a little bit of the cable. I still need to push it down some. All the way down here, ran it across, up here, following the rear windshield, and then you can finally find the camera right over here. All right, so it is the next day, and we're gonna do a couple of tests here. The thing that I am most curious about is the audio. Most dash cameras don't have really good audio. They become distorted, especially with cars that have somewhat of a exhaust that's a little bit on the louder side. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna sound. And number two, I wanna see the night vision. They claim to have superior night vision, so let's go ahead and see how that looks at nighttime. All right. A little bit of exhaust here.
So it's been about a week since I've installed this camera in the car, and I have to say, I am really impressed with this camera so far. Whether you are doing city driving at nighttime or you're going through a stroll in the countryside in the daytime, this camera and the video quality really does speak for itself. And that's because the cameras alone are pretty good quality. For example, the front camera here is a 2K camera, while the interior camera and the rear cameras are both 1080 cameras. So as you can see here, the picture quality is pretty good for what you get here. Now, one of the things that I'm really most impressed with is the audio quality of this camera. I mean, take a listen to some of the sound here.
Oh my God! Woo! Hey, what's the retail on one of those?
I should be asking you that. This thing is sleeping crazy.
Oh, damn. Now I know the audio is not perfect, but it's pretty good for what you get. One last thing I want to touch on is the app that you can download to your smartphone. This will give you full access to control your dash camera. With this app, you can do things like set the pre-recording times from 1 minute, 3 minutes to 5 minutes. You can even set the miles per hour to display, or you can choose it to display in kilometers. You can adjust the loop recording times. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. One of the things that I will probably end up using it for, though, is to download actual dash cam footage from that dash cam itself to my device if I do need to show the police officer, hey, somebody hit me and I need a report. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to leave links in the description below on where you can buy the Hardwire kit, the actual dash camera I'm using itself, and maybe some of the tools that you saw in this video. But if there are any questions about anything that you saw in this video, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Support your boy. This is Ed signing off. Until next time, peace.